And this is, I mean, Satan cannot say that these people are mine. He cannot say that. When they say, we disown you and the idols you worship beside God, we denounce you, and you will see nothing from us except animosity and hatred until you believe in God alone. And then we're given the example of Abraham and his father. However, a mistake was committed by Abraham when he said to his father, I will pray for your forgiveness, but I possess no power to protect you from God. Our Lord, we trust in you, we submit to you. To you is the final destiny. Our Lord, let's not be opposed by those who disbelieve, and forgive us. You are the Almighty, most wise. So I think we learn from this page that we just our stand must be firm, and it reminds us that we are here. All this trouble is because we rebelled. We did not make a firm stand on the side of God when the great feud happened. The jinns, for example, made a firm stand with Satan, and we didn't. We said maybe Satan can make it, can be a God. We did not make a firm stand with God. So this is our time to make up for it, and to denounce that wishy-washy stand that we had in the past. Okay, verse 6. A good example has been set by them for those who seek God and the last day. As for those who turn away, God is no need of them, most praiseworthy. God may change the animosity between you and them into love. See what I mean when I said make your stand known orally, publicly, and tell them it's okay, you can study and examine the evidence until God guides you, but make it known. Number 7, God is omnipotent, God is forgiver, most merciful. And these relationships are regulated by the next 2 verses. It tells you exactly how to behave towards whom. Number 8 says, God does not enjoin you from befriending those who do not fight you because of religion, and do not evict you from your homes. You may befriend them and be equitable towards them. God loves the equitable. So these are not considered enemies of God if they are not actively opposing you. They may be curious, they may be still looking, they may be still examining the evidence. You'll be able to tell if they are hostile or not. Number 9 tells you that God enjoins you only from befriending those who fight you because of religion, evict you from your homes, and band together with others to banish you. You shall not befriend them. Those who befriend them are the transgressors. If you are friends of somebody who's opposing God and His messenger, what does this tell about you? Yeah?
Wishy-washy.
Yes, or worse. Yes. You have to make your stand very firm on the side of God alone. If somebody is idolizing Muhammad or Jesus or Mary or some saint with God, you have to make your stand known that you don't like that you are not their friends until they abandon their idolatry and dedicate themselves to God alone. Otherwise we will be like them. This is throughout the Quran we see this. If you don't do that, you are like them, as guilty as they are.
Yeah, for example, you work in the same office with them, and provided they don't bother you, pay your own way.
Yes.
They pay their own way, and they don't bother you. You meet
Right.
in the same restaurant.
Right.
You meet in the same clubs and all this kind of, play the same game, perhaps as I play snooker in the
Yes.
evening. Provided they don't bother you,
They don't bother you, they're not fighting you. Then
Yeah, you can
it's
talk
okay.
to them.
They are neutral.
yes,
Neutral, yeah.
they're neutral. There's still hope for them.
So there's no problem. You talk to them, you play around, joke with them,
Exactly.
religion aside.
Exactly. Yeah, verses 8 and 9 are really are the rule that covers the umbrella rule.
Can we do good to them? If an opportunity
If
arises.
they're still neutral, yes. Especially if it's going to help them.
No, they declare themselves. They declare themselves that they are non-believers. Can we do good to them?
No, you better run away from them. Yeah, they declare themselves as unbelievers. You
Well,
better.
they need help,
No, you,
one kind or the other.
yes.
Help,
You-
some kind. Shall we help them?
Not if they declare themselves as unbelievers. They're enemies of God.
They
Yes.
have.
Yes. You have to run away from them. You don't help
Don't
them.
help them.
No. This is what, let's read it again. Number 9. God enjoins you from befriending those who fight you because of your religion. Evict you from your homes and band together with others to banish you. Better yet, if you look at verse number 1, it says, O you who believe, you shall not befriend my enemies and your enemies. So a person who declared himself as an unbeliever is an enemy of God. It shows the opposite side. Unless you have something else in mind as far as declare themselves unbelievers. Can you be more specific?
For sure. Excuse me. How a person can be included in number verse 8. These are not believers in faith.
But
They
they're
are
neutral.
disbelievers, and they are not actively fighting against believers. Because number 8, there are some people that they are not believers, but they do not believe, or maybe they are agnostic, maybe they are Christian or Jews, they worship, but they have no animosity, I would say enmity in their heart.
So no fighting, in other
They
words.
don't fight.
Will this define what you mean?
Exactly. Here, extending love and friendship to them. There is a wide margin between love and friendship.
Yes.
I personally, as a good Muslim, would like to love my enemy. I do not know whether that enemy is the enemy of God, but it says both your enemies and my enemies.
Yes.
But I am specifying that there is a person I know that he is my enemy. I wouldn't call anyone my enemy, but I would say that this man has done bad to me. I would like to love him. I would respond by loving him.
Okay, is your enemy like in work circumstances?
Unless he goes a little too far by, as it says, that take my house, take my home away, then of course I would retaliate differently.
Okay, if it is personal friction,
Yes.
the Quran actually tells you to love your enemy.
Yeah,
I mean, if it's a personal matter, like for example, he built his fence
Yes.
inside your territory instead of half yard inside your territory or something. This has nothing to do with God. And in fact, I don't know if the Arabic will mean anything to you. يَدْرَؤُونَ بِالْحَسَنَةِ السَّيِّئَةِ. In other words, if something does bad to you, you does good to them. Perhaps he will become your friend in the future. But here we're talking strictly religion, as far as worshipping God alone is concerned.
Yes.
So when you say my enemy,
The ultimate would be that he may turn to be a believer, because I am a
Yes.
believer.
right, if you mean by my enemy is personal animosity, that is, the Quran tells you to do good to them, to love your enemy. But because you'll be fighting for your sake, not for God's sake. This is why the verse starts with my enemies. God is saying my enemies first. You shall not befriend my enemies and your enemies.
Because the enemy is also sure our enemy.
That's right.
Because the person
So,
who believes.
The love and hate should be for the sake of God, not for our personal sake.
since these are not all idol worshippers, it's only the ones that actively fight.
Yes. You know, let us face it, when we grew up, they taught us idolatry, idol worship. We grew up as idol worshippers. All of us, this generation anyway. The new generation is cleaner than we are. But you give them a chance to see the truth. So if they're not fighting you, there is hope that someday may be better than you and me.
Yes.
Yes.
Quite right. Yes, I was telling you, stay in the same office, you share the same restaurant and all these things, and they are neutral, and they happen to be in need of some help. Now, won't you help them in such a situation?
You help them if they're not fighting you. If
Yeah,
they're not
if
actively
they-
fighting
they are
you, you help them, yes.
And in case, they need your help.
Yes. Look on them as
Check.
potential believers.
Yeah, check
You're
your
trying to
eyes.
woo them, actually.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
You can help them in such a
Yes.
situation. You can befriend them, help them.
That's what verse 8 is saying.
Yes, yeah.
It say, God does not prohibit you from befriending those who are not fighting you and not evicting you from your homes. Fighting you because of religion, excuse me, I have to add that 3 words.
Yeah.
Because of religion, not because of personal matters.
Rashad, throughout the Quran, we see that we read that we should respect the relatives.
Regard the relatives.
Regard
Yes.
the relatives. And if one of our relatives is idol worship,
You disown them. No, excuse me, go on. I'm fighting you. I'm sorry. Yes.
if they declare that they believe in, they put Muhammad
Yes.
beside God, they declare,
But they're not fighting you.
but they are not fighting.
Fine.
But
It's okay. You can be their friends and love them and everything, and try to woo them to worshiping God alone.
In Jahadat, because in Jahadat,
Yes.
that time deal with God.
That's what are home. They don't even fight them.
Yes.
This is
that's
about the parents.
Only if they struggle against.
Yeah,
you,
no,
they
she's talking
fight.
about relatives like cousins, aunts, nephews, nieces,
But
right?
even if your parents, if they fight you, you still have to respect them
That's right. But you don't obey them in
in that particular.
idol worship situation.
is there any difference between each relative that you are seeing?
Yeah, the parents have a special position. The parents, God says, don't say oof to them.
So if they are idol worship, you should.
But God gives you permission to disobey them if they are forcing you to commit idolatry. Say, you must mention Muhammad and Ibrahim in your prayer, for example. You don't obey them. Say, okay, mom or dad, just keep. I understand your opinion and I appreciate your situation, but I'll do it my way.
Yeah.
It's my neck.
Yeah, it's like mine. They disagree with my being here, but they're not saying.
Of course, they don't know anything about us
No,
anyway.
they just kind of. I sent them some information, but they don't want to look at it. They just
Okay, let's see what the rest of the surah says. Verse 10, in case of war, O you who believe, when believing women abandon the enemy and ask for asylum with you, you shall test them. God is fully aware of their belief. Once you establish that they are believers, you shall not return them to the disbelievers. They are not lawful to remain married to them, nor shall the disbelievers be allowed to marry them. Give back the dowries that the disbelievers have paid. You commit no error by marrying them, so long as you pay them their due dowries. Do not keep disbelieving wives if they wish to join the enemy. You may ask them for the dowry you had paid, and they may ask for what they paid. This is God's rule. He rules among you. God is omniscient, most wise. This probably will never apply to us, but what this is saying is when two camps are fighting, one camp are disbelievers, another camp is believers, and some women on the disbelievers side join the believers, you do not have to obtain an official divorce for the women. You can consider them divorced without any official action. And the same if women from the believers side decide to disbelieve and join the disbelievers camp, God is actually telling the believers to give them back their dowries and divorce them. if this is what they want. Number 11, if any of your wives join the enemies, I was a little ahead of myself. If any of your wives join the enemy's camp and you are forced to fight, you shall force the enemy to compensate the men who lost their wives by giving them what they spent on their wives. You shall reverence God in whom you believe. Number 12, O you prophet, when the believing women who abandoned the disbelievers who seek asylum with you pledge to you that they will not set up any idols beside God, nor steal, nor commit adultery, nor kill their children, nor fabricate any falsehood, nor disobey your righteous orders, you shall accept their pledge and pray to God to forgive them. God is forgiver, most merciful. Now, when number 12 says, "Oh, you prophet," what does this tell us? Because this is at the time of the Prophet Muhammad. It is not applicable to us. Starting at verse 10. Number 13, "O you who believe, do not befriend people with whom God is angry." This repeats verse 1 and verse 9. "O you who believe, do not befriend people with whom God is angry and who are hopelessly stuck in disbelief." It's very important, hopelessly stuck in disbelief. You have to use your own judgment if there is hope that the person may become a believer or not. And if there is hope that the person may become a believer, you better be as diplomatic as you can to help them. You have a lot at stake, by the way, when you do that. Because when you help somebody come to the truth, you get a lot of credit. So God gives us incentives, lots of positive incentives to do that. So if you sense that there is hope that the person may become a believer, you should be as diplomatic as can be, and you use your own judgment in that.
This is sort of, well, line of Mark and Pickford, this is the pledge they make women take when they
But there's no war, yeah, this is in case of war. Yes. Yes, I know. They do all kinds of strange things. Hey! You made it.
Wow.
Come on in. Salam. Come on. Here, come here. How was it, too?
Oh, excellent. Hi. Salam. Sorry, we got it locked. Sorry.
No, it's fine.
The door was locked, but everybody is locked.
With whom God is angry, these are the criteria. And who are hopelessly stuck in disbelief. Hopelessly stuck in disbelief. They are just as hopeless as the disbelievers who are already in the graves. In other words, there's absolutely no hope for them, therefore you cannot befriend them. This is where you have to use your own judgment.
Patience.
Yes.
You have to keep pursuing.
Yes.
Give up.
There he is. He's here. This is Montana.
Very glad to be here.
The Canadian group were asking about you.
Yes. I hug everybody later. Hi,
Promise?
how are you?
Promise?
Yes. If you accept, I'll be very close and.
Yes.
Okay.
Let us finish the page 551. The Surah 61, the column of Saf. In the name of God, most gracious, most merciful. Glorifying God is everything in the heavens and everything on earth. Think about that. Can we keep the kids quiet somehow? Tell them to lower their voices. Glorifying God is everything in the heavens and everything on earth. The carpet, the walls. Glorifying God. I think we went into details of this before. Rose is kind of surprised. This carpet is made of certain atoms,
Alright.
and every atom has a certain number of electrons, and the electrons are rotating in specific orbits, and this is God's law, so they are glorifying God. In Surah 17, God says, وَإِن مِّن شَيْءٍ إِلَّا يُسَبِّحُ بِحَمْدِهِ. There is nothing that does not glorify God, even the disbelievers. And the rest of the verse, yes, says, we do not understand their glorification. So the disbelievers' body, the disbelievers cannot control the heartbeats or the lungs breathing.
Only difference is they're doing it unwillingly.
Right.
Rashad,
Yeah.
God gives an interesting example of shadow.
Yes.
God said they disbelieve God, they think they disobey God, but their shadow obey God's rule and go to.
Yes. I was just writing a footnote about this yesterday, and I said that the solar clocks bear witness to that. There's a solar clock here in the university in front of the observatory. And it's very accurate, which is based on the shadow. Tells you exactly what time it is. It's an eternal clock. So glorifying God is everything in the heavens and everything on earth. He is the Almighty, most wise. O you who believe, why do you say what you do not do? Most abominable in the sight of God is that you say what you do not do. So if you're asking somebody to do the 5 prayers, you better be doing them yourself. Number 4, God loves those who fight in His cause to be united in one column, like the bricks in one wall. There shouldn't be any differences. You have to be one. And this is why we see in Surah 6 that God condemns sectarianism. God says those who divide their religion into sects do not belong with God or the Prophet. And they hear this practically every day, but they still say, I'm a Shafi'i, I'm a Maliki, I'm a Hanbali, I'm a Sunni, I'm a Shi'i, Ahmadi. Yes. Barbara, what are you? MashaAllah, yes. I don't think we have any trouble under this roof saying who we are.
So a lot of people, like at work, they ask and stuff. A lot of them, they just think, well, it's just another sect. And you go back and you explain it, it's hard.
It's the only thing they know. But you go to any typical masjid in any Muslim country, and under the same roof you're going to find different sects.
Oh, today, Rashad, that Arab came.
Is he an Arab?
Yes, he was Yemeni.
Oh.
And he came before, he said, now this masjid, that masjid, there are a lot of hatred and bad things I hate there, I don't like, I want to make research, and they came to, only for this reason, they have trouble there.
Yes, they always do. They have fist fights. And this is in every masjid, I know. So this surah is entitled the Saf, the column, like the bricks in one wall. Recall that Moses said to his people, O my people, why do you hurt me even though you know that I am God's messenger to you? When they deviated, God diverted their hearts, for God does not guide the wicked people. So that's it. And then we're open to general discussions. Any questions, Azar? I don't believe it. Yes. Yesterday I asked how. Do you have any questions? I said, how are you?
إن الذين فرقوا دينهم وكانوا شيعا
6159.
150.
Is there any specific rule that men always have to wear just in public or in your own house?
This is the way it came to us all the way from Abraham. And usually, if God wants to set a precedent for the subsequent generations, God would create a situation or circumstances that will force this issue, and then we'll have a precedent that a woman is leading the prayer. But that never happened, and the innovations are a very serious matter. So just so not start any innovation, we're keeping this this rule.
But I think in my own house, does my father always have to stand here and find side to side?
I would say yes, because of this same reason. This has been always rule, and any change in it would be an innovation. So it's not worth it. It's not worth it. But from the logical point of view, a woman leading the prayer is not the woman is dignified, and there will be more distracting for the men. It's very dangerous to start a new innovation, something new. Yes.
There are three places that.
That's a bad question. No, go ahead.
It talks about cuts in Quran. One is when they're cutting the thief's hand.
Yes.
The other one when Joseph, those ladies cut their hand. And there's the third one that Pharaoh tells those people who follow Moses to cut your hands and feet from alternate sides. Well, I don't know, but I mean, my question is the third one similar to the first or the second? So
Neither.
Pardon?
The word used for Joseph and the women, and 19 verses later in Surah Joseph, and also cutting the hand of the thief, that's the same word.
Same word.
But the word used for the people who commit gross crimes and fight God, and the word that Pharaoh is using is different. Is qata'a and qatta'a. You see the difference?
I don't know.
No, listen, just listen to the voice. Qata'a. This is the root for the hand of the thief. But for the people who commit gross crimes, is qatta'a.
So the thief and Joseph basically exactly the same.
Right. Same word, exactly.
What's the fourth one?
It is
qatta'a.
the people that fight against believers, they could be killed, and also.
Oh, that's the same one that Pharaoh.
Yes, like.
Will commit heinous crimes. Stealing is a very specific crime.
Yes, the difference is very important because this root qatta'a is strongly punishment. The word fa'ala yufa'ilu taf'il means to make it stronger. The other is qatta'a.
God give us mathematical evidence. So.
Rashad?
Yes.
Earlier this afternoon when we were studying, the question came up about Juma prayer. If you came in and the first part of the first khutbah was given already, how many rak'ahs do you have to make?
2.
You missed
Could you talk about, elaborate a little bit, because it wasn't a very forward answer.
This is a straightforward answer. If you miss the whole khutbah and come with the people having doing the 2 rak'ahs, you do only 2 rak'ahs. Because you went to the place, and chances are you're going to ask the people what was the subject, what did they talk about. You'll be discussing it. Also, you're praying in a congregation, so the credit carries over. In other words.
You're alone on Friday.
You cannot pray. Yes.
So even though you missed the whole thing,
If you give yourself a khutbah, you'll be accused of being a schizo. See, the word Juma by definition is group. Yes, go ahead. You have a guest for one night.
Yes, sure.
Because you came too early.
she's over there. Yes. She's over
Go
there.
ahead.
Yes.
No, she wasn't. There she is.
Hello.
Yeah, go ahead, and do you need people to help you move in?
No, tomorrow.
We have great muscles, see? Sheikh Mahmoud's muscles and Qassim's and Adib's.
Not tomorrow, inshallah. We have to take the
How about
car
this?
out.
What car?
A truck?
Yes. Let's say when? Tomorrow morning?
Yes, we
Tonight?
have to take the... No, not tonight because they're closed. We have to take the car in. I'm pulling my car with it. We have to get it out of there.
Okay.
Then bring the car back.
Just say when and we'll be here. Inshallah. Atif? No, he's gone.
Thanks. Yeah.
person in this life because
Exactly. Go ahead.
This is a good point, but if you think further, God is capable to create a system that even if everybody is equal, and also can they survive. This God system now we're talking about, but God can could create another system that even everybody could survive on the earth.
But we'll talk about the system we have now.
Okay, but it is possible for God. But why God decided on the system? I have also additionally another answer. The final is the most important thing. The test, the objective of the test, worship God alone. Everything, for example, to be poor or to be rich. You can see many rich people. They do not see the message because they are rich. They are proud. They don't involve. They don't take care. But many people, they accept. Sometimes differently, and this test, all poor to be poor or to be rich has the same disadvantage and advantage. If you look at the perspective of the test and the final result, they all have the same, let's say different but equal problems and equal advantages.
What is happening to communism today? Communism failed. Where Karl Marx said everybody all people have to be equal. Didn't work. Nasser destroyed Egypt using this principle. Because all of a sudden the boss will call somebody to do something. Say, no, I'm not going to do it. I'm just like you. And the whole country stopped from that moment.
I think if the system was what Idib said, everything was equal and so on, and God would make it work also the other way, then we would have said, why God is not just, it's boring, everything is the same, why is
That's right, yes.
It's not exactly, it was the condition we accepted to come over here. For example, I asked God to send me over here. I'm going to have this much problem or the poverty or everything, but still I'm going to glorify you. Somebody asked me, okay, you make me, send me over there, make me change, still I'm going to glorify you or purify. I mean, it's the only condition we accepted before you came to this world.
Say it again.
Okay. Before we came to here,
yes.
we accept all of things is going to happen for us. They say, send us to this world. For everything bad or good is going to happen for us. You see, we are going to glorify you. Of course, some of us will, some of us not. This is something we accepted that way.
We accepted the freedom of choice. We didn't. If you.
For example, one day you said, for example, the horse comes to this world and this.
Oh, I see. Yes. Those submitted. Yeah, they submitted to God. The horse, the dog, the stars, the trees.
You have, for example, not a hard time with this one. They accept to come over here.
Not necessarily. They just decide to submit and they come to this world and perform certain functions in total submission. But we didn't know what we were in for. It's okay. Materials of this world, all that the disbelievers get. If it were not that all the people might become one disbelieving congregation, we would have granted everyone who disbelieves in the most gracious mansions with silver roofs and stairs upon which they could climb. So because this is all they get in this world, God's saying, you know, their destiny is so awful in the hereafter, that God wishes to give each one of them a few $1 million and a mansion and let them have fun here for 60 or 70 years. Because after that they're heading for hell. But then the test will become more difficult for the believers.
We read in the Quran that rich believer is better than poor. But throughout the Quran also we read that material is nothing and it's hereafter is better. But how come God is telling us that rich to be rich is better than to be poor?
Okay, let us say we're all poor, we're all believers. We're all believers and we barely make it, we're very poor. How will you print this Quran, for example? It's a good thing that we have this here, and we sent it to Hajj Ali coming all the way from Nigeria because he received the message in the Quran and the books. Yes, doesn't make any difference. Your dollar is already assigned to you, but go ahead and ask. The reason go ahead and ask, and God says so, is because it's a form of worship. When you ask God, but it will not make any difference. The dollars from birth to death are already assigned. Ask John about that.
Experience.
Yeah, good.
Old man.
But as it is with the believers, you're guaranteed all your needs, your health, your wealth, guaranteed a perfect life if you're a believer. And you may have zero in the bank, but you will not worry, and you'll have peace of mind, and the IRS cannot touch you. You have your money deposited up there. Yeah.
And the title that the rich believers better than poor believers, nothing is open to abuse or abuse. I think
anything is open to abuse.
I think, excuse me.
Anything is open to abuse. Anything, believe me.
Something that may be too open for abuse, and people try and they rent each other according to their money, and this becomes, as I would say, like a company. Who has more money has a great thing, the respect, and I don't know, that's something I feel.
That's what God said. Remember that the common denominator is believer. The rich believer is better than the poor believer.
There is encouragement. I think it could be told in different ways.
Yeah.
For example, believers try to be rich, must try to be rich and work hard, not be lazy.
You're not trying to be rich?
This is excuse me?
You're not, listen up a minute. Listen. You're not trying to be rich?
Who?
You.
How do you know?
I'm asking you. He's criticizing trying to be rich. Okay, now you're not trying to be rich? Do you want to be rich? I'm not excusing you.
But I think he said this is a good point. He said this is good.
No, he's saying it's not a good point.
No, I think he said
Trying to be rich. Is that good or bad?
Depends on your priority. If you have other things to do, first of all,
yes.
You choose this and later.
Okay, let's take you for example. Do you want to be rich?
Sure, I want to be rich.
Why?
Well, why not?
I'm glad you're watching up away.
Sure, it's a true thing.
Yes.
But it is not just.
All right, so we agree.
Sure.
So God said.
Yes, for believers to be rich, sure, it's better to be poor, but.
Yes, thank you very much.
Put in this way, there are sometimes expression of a faith.
Yes.
If sometimes.
You don't want to say the rich believer is better than the poor believer?
Something funny.
Yes, Hajj Alawi.
I think, yes, a rich believer is better than a poor believer in the sense that for the rich believer to appreciate the gift that are given to him as it's from God, and then use these gifts in the cause of God,
Exactly.
charity, building mosques, in the cause of God generally, and do his other obligations, knowing very well that all these things are not his own making, not his own education, intelligence, wisdom,
Charity,
but they are from the Almighty Allah.
I'm telling you, it's not easy to be a rich believer. More difficult. Did you know that? It is more difficult. It is more responsibility. And I'll give you the example of Solomon. Okay, Solomon was very rich. Was the richest human alive. And he became distracted with his horses. What did he do?
Yes.
He got rid of his horses. Yes.
But by this
So
way,
it's very difficult because you get distracted.
by this way, can we say Solomon is better than Job? Because he was a believer. If you put this as a criteria, he was according to Quran, the richest messenger.
Yes, the rich believer, listen, there is nothing to know about the rich believer being better than the poor believer because God said so. So we can only debate on some details, but the principle, God already said the principle. The rich believer is better than the poor believer, Surah 16. We cannot fool around with the principle, but you can discuss.
These rich people are usually more difficult
Yes,
to get into, become a true believers.
because they don't need God. This I'm using you as an example. Okay. Is it better for you to be poor or rich? You, as a believer, you're the same believer. Your belief in God is certain, inshallah. It will never change. Now, is it better for you to be poor or rich?
Rashad,
For all concerned, answer my question first, and then.
let me.
No, but
first of
is
all,
it better to be for you to be poor or rich? In your opinion, is it better to be rich or poor?
Sure.
Sure what? Yes.
There's one point, Rashad.
Yes.
The word believer is not something, it is very relative subject. For example, there are maybe two believers, both of them believers, but one of them is more appreciated, but God didn't give you. God says, I give you, I will say, if God...
No, we're talking about equal believers. In belief, they're both believers.
Rashad,
You've reached the top as far as belief is concerned.
إِنَّمَا أَكْرَمَكُمْ عِنْدَ اللَّهِ أَتْقَاكُمْ, God says.
Right. Both of them are in the same taqwa, same belief, same degree of taqwa. Now, which
But
one
we
is better?
cannot say this.
Why not? This is what God is saying. We're talking about two equal. Go ahead. You have some very good arguments.
Let's say there are two people. Okay. Both spend same amount of time for research, thinking about God, for example, read the Quran and whatever that you think is being right. To me, I think they want. Because they both have even same knowledge. One can be lazy and say, okay, I need 8 hours of sleep. And I do whatever I do, and I only work for example 8 hours. The other one will say, okay, I sleep only 6 hours, I work harder, and if that's the reason that he became richer, or he has more money, then to me, that person work harder. And we can say yes, if their belief are the same, they are both righteous, their belief are the same, yes, that one is better because you work harder and achieve whatever we have.
No, even without working harder, say I want to, because I've seen people who don't work at all and they're very rich anyway. Yes, but if they are both believers, then the rich man, according to the Quran, what God is telling us is that the rich has a better chance to be charitable, to help the others, to publish the Quran, or whatever. The things that need money, the things that need money.
And the poor believer, there's not a problem. If one is poor, then even if you are really a believer, imagine coming home, and as you come home, you fully well know that there is no food in the house, and time for bed, just coming home around the sunset prayers, and you have 4 or 5 kids in the house with the wife, and you went out to work, you coming home, you couldn't get anything, and when you come into the house with the kids crying all over the places and the wife making faces, You can hardly think of praying a Maghrib prayer at that time.
Yes.
But
Distracting.
rich man, you don't have any of these problems. And the moment you come home, you know the food is there, the kids are playing with their motorbikes and all these things. You go straight in and home happens.
You concentrate on the prayer. Yes. Yes. That also. Anyway, we cannot fool around with the principle that the rich believer is better than the poor believer. Edip wants to make a lot of money so he can publish a translation in Turkey and build a mosque in his hometown and buy a few dresses for Upper Man. He's going to be a millionaire, inshallah.
Is it possible that believer be rich?
Why?
Yes?
No.
Huh? No?
I don't think so, no.
Why? Solomon was a believer. He was very, 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 very rich.
1 year.
Huh?
1 day was but I don't think a believer could be rich. Because when you get believer, I don't think you'll be able to be rich.
Why?
Because you are going to buy the other book. You know you are going to visit the God, see the God, meet the God. So I think you are going to put all of your money in the right way.
No, not
Because
necessarily.
you will be rich.
But he'll be a rich then. If he's spending all his money, he's rich. This. Also, we don't know how much money is written for us. So we have to work as hard as possible. It's God's perfect system.
Only one knows how much
Yes.
assigned to you.
Yeah, we don't know. So we have to knock on all the doors. And one of them, some of them, the right ones will open. But you have to knock.
No way he cannot be rich. This Farhad. Farhad think of himself, I think, because he's working for God.
You never know. Can somebody push the door because it's getting cold to dress?
Isn't poor and rich relative to the place that the poor and rich people is? It is said just now about Solomon and Job. Job was rich within where Job was, what richness meant.
No, Job was rich, period.
He was very wealthy for Job. So,
no, period. He was very wealthy, period. He became poor for a while.
Right, and then he
became twice as rich. Yes.
Right. So even though he wasn't as wealthy as Solomon, he was a wealthy person within that time. So poor and rich have to be relative to where poor and rich really is. Because in some places, rich may mean $1 million. And that's really wealthy. It can do just as much as $10 million may be able to do in another place. So poor and rich is relative to the place that it is. I think the statement of a rich believer is better than a poor is a very good character building statement for a believer. It gives you the need to strive. It makes you want to build yourself to do something, and it makes you want to give.
Yes, definitely. Okay, I think we'll stop here. We usually read 2 pages every morning and then we're open to discussion. Yes.
When God says rich believer is better than poor, it means in this book, isn't it?
Yes.
Not here.
Why? Also the hereafter. There will be ranks in the hereafter. I think this is where heaven and hell, we can think of it if we apply the terms of this world. a ditch digger out when it is 110 degrees here in Tucson and somebody's digging ditches out there. He's hoping that he will save enough money someday to import cheese from Greece and sell it here. Stop. In other words, there is a hope that this will end the ditch digging. But if in the hereafter, a ditch digger is a ditch digger forever. There's no hope. This is why it is hell. So there are ranks over there, and when the people in hell are assigned those low ranks, they know that this is forever. There's no promotion.
God also saying that closest to God is the most righteous.
Yes.
I think
over there in the hereafter, there will be ranks. In fact, we have 3 general ranks. Okay, we have the high heaven, we have the low heaven, and then we have hell. So God gives us descriptions of the high heaven and the low heaven. In the high heaven, the water flows. In the low heaven, you have to pump, you have to work for it, right? So that's the difference. Yeah, Surah 55, God describes the high heaven and the low heaven. And God says in the high heaven, the water flows like a spring. It's right there, ready. But in the lower heaven, you have to pump. It's all, of course, allegory, relative. You have to work for the water. God tells us in the high heaven there is all kinds of fruit. In the lower heaven, there is a limited number of fruit. God names certain fruits. But the high heaven, God says there's all kinds of fruit. So there are ranks and limitations even there.
I give it ranks. God does say that closest to me is the most righteous.
Right.
So I don't see any mention about the hell. That's my question.
So the closest to God will be in the high heaven.
No,
I think
You talk about the hereafter?
yes.
Yeah, the closest to God will be in the high heaven.
They are righteous, more righteous.
More righteous, not the most righteous and guilty.
I think let me.
Yeah, but this implies being in the high heaven means wealthier,
Yeah.
richer.
I think what he's asking is, does wealth here relate to wealth in the hereafter?
The richness of this world is different from the richness of the other.
Okay, you're saying that a rich believer here can be in the lower rank than a poor believer here? Over there?
I think that
That's right. You're right. It's not necessarily the same. If you take 2 believers, one is rich and one is poor here, this may be reversed over there. But in any case, yeah, I think I understand the question now. But in any case, it is fantastic triumph to be in the lower heaven or the high heaven over there. Yes. And there is no jealousy. There's no jealousy, and there is no. Everyone is perfectly happy. The jealousy will be erased from the dictionary in the heaven, in the high heaven or the low heaven.
There is feeling.
What do you mean?
You just know there.
The feelings of ecstasy and joy and happiness, yes.
Rashad,
Yes.